as always, by my friend of 25 years, actor extraordinaire, the GCJ himself, the SSAF champion of the world, Mr. JP Will. How you doing, buddy?
Oh man, I am looking at that beautiful, beautiful logo right behind you. For those watching, I mean, obviously they see it, but for those listening, Hans put up our AMBC logo created by our buddy Chris Wales behind him, and it looks glorious.
Yeah, all made possible by Free TV Tuesday from a few weeks ago. There was just a free TV out in my little lobby. So
is it older? Is it
it seems just fine. I don't know. It's got a wall mount and everything. 40 inches.
amazing?
It's like big. It seems it looks
Jeez.
good.
I mean, I've done that before.
I've gotten so much stuff from just people leaving it. Like, I was about to buy a bar cart, and then the exact one I was going to buy was just sitting out there. Like,
I remember that.
Table I got, like, the only furniture I've gotten since I moved in has been for free. Like, half my apartment is just stuff I've pillaged.
That sounds like me getting all my nice clothes from my older rich cousin growing up.
Oh, yeah. I haven't bought a pair of shoes in, like, over a decade because of my brother-in-law and sister, or any type of clothes, really.
But other than that, I think we're getting a dog today.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we talked about it. I haven't been around a dog regularly in many, many years, and Haley was super excited. We're getting he's like a Pomeranian Terrier mix something, I don't know, but his name is Gazpacho, and based on the name alone, he's like medium size. I don't know, like yeah, like I don't know. It's hard to say. Medium size, definitely not like a small little tiny dog, and not as big as yours. Okay. Probably like if I took a dog between a Pomeranian and yours, like right in the middle.
They're probably around 20-some pounds because she's about 40, 45, depending on how much she's eating that day.
Yeah.
Like all of us.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, somewhere around there. But yeah, I think we're getting him today at some point. Not sure, but he's got all of his shots, his vaccine, and they took his little huevos and
snip, snip, snip.
Snip, snip. Ugh,
chip him and guy. Everything.
I think so, yeah.
Mine has that, but I don't actually know how to use it.
Yeah, I'm doing all this like dog research. I literally just Googled like essential dog supplies. Like, I don't know.
I can help you with that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Her
awesome.
Since 07, 08, something like that.
Oh, wow.
I'm
yeah.
a veteran of this game.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely be asking you many questions. But other than that, things are going great. How about you?
Not too bad, because today, sticking with the Halloween theme of October, our feature presentation is the original The Purge.
The movie that spawned about 18 sequels and a TV show. And neither of us, oddly, had ever seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the series, not the TV shows, none of the movies, nothing.
I randomly saw, I think it was the second one with Frank Grillo, where he kind of plays like a Punisher. I mean, that one actually, like, I remember it being kind of fun because he plays kind of like a Punisher type dude, like where his like sister got killed in the last Purge. So he's just got like a badass car and a bunch of guns and is just like going out and killing a bunch of people who are like purging. So like it's actually like a pretty cool concept. And it's Frank Grillo and he's badass. So
yeah, I've always been fascinated by the concept of this. Like, if this came out when I was in high school, like being a mini little edgelord, it would have been exactly my favorite thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little weird, and like I like it's semi-future dystopian, but like not like Mad Max, but like, you know, it's a messed up future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, clearly we'll get into that. A clearly very messed up future.
Yeah. Yeah, but before we get into that, what have you been watching, reading, seeing, doing this week?
New episode of American Gigolo, and it's so funny. I think now we're at the point where we're just watching it to see how it ends, because it's like
your pocket.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And I mean, Bernthal is awesome. Bernthal is Bernthal. He's so great. But yeah, I think now we're at a point where like Haley turned to me last night and at one point she's like, "This show is not good." But I mean, it's okay, and we're watching it and just getting through it. And then gosh, that's honestly kind of it. I went and saw my buddy Aaron. There was an Addams Family musical out here, and it was actually so much fucking fun. And guess who played the star attraction of the show is guess who played Morticia Addams?
Give me a hint.
She was in a cult superhero TV show from the 90s.
Superhero TV show from the 90s. I can't even think of any superhero TV shows from the 90s.
DC.
I have no idea.
Terry Hatcher.
Oh, Lois and Clark.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Dean Cain.
That's right. I watched that show. I liked that show.
I know. I loved it. I watched it religiously growing up.
Yeah, when we had like 4 channels. We were both too
exactly. But yeah, Terry Hatcher played Morticia Addams, and she actually did a really great job.
That's awesome.
I mean, she's not a great singer, but that's the kind of part where you don't really have to be. You could kind of just get away with like talk singing, Yeah. But my buddy Aaron played Lurch, and he was like so fucking funny, and he also has an amazing singing voice. But it was cool, like seeing a live. There's something about seeing a live musical that's just like so transcendent, like seeing people who are really amazingly talented singers and dancers and actors, and it's just incredible.
I love musicals. From my time in San Francisco, I got to be good friends with one of the sales guys, and he looks and sounds like Alec Baldwin. Like he's a big burly dude, deep voice, and he loves musicals. He's like the most manly man ever, but he loves musicals, and every time he comes to New York, we go see musicals together.
What was the last one you saw? Do you remember?
We saw one with what's his name? It was called like Bright Star or something. It was made by God, I'm blanking on his name, like from The Jerk. What's his
John Leguizamo?
No,
that's The Pest. The Jerk, Steve Martin.
Steve Martin, yeah. Like he wrote it. Like he billed it to me as like it was a Steve Martin musical, and like for the first 20 minutes, I'm like, when's Steve Martin coming out? But he wasn't in it. He just wrote it.
Nice, and you enjoyed it?
But he did during intermission. He came out and played the banjo.
Oh, amazing! Awesome. Oh, amazing! Fantastic. That's so cool. Nice, but honestly, that's kind of it for me lately. What about you?
Finished up. She-Hulk finished.
Gosh, I need to catch up.
I love the whole series. I really did not like the finale, but as a whole, I liked everything else. They just went a direction that's. I kind of need to watch it again because I wasn't really ready for what they did.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Also, House of the Dragon penultimate episode, which they always do the second to last one big, and they did.
Yeah, I'm hearing so many things, and luckily it hasn't been spoiled yet. I think maybe on some of my downtime this week when little Gaspacho is getting used to our surroundings, maybe I'll just throw on House of the Dragon and catch up finally.
Yeah, with baby cold soup by your side.
baby Spanish cold soup.
What else? Andor, I believe it was mid-season. Big episode. Man, I love that show.
Yeah, I am really slacking on my TV watching lately.
I honestly think it's the best thing Disney's done with the franchise yet.
Oh, that's great to hear. You're not the first person I've heard say that.
Yeah, and of course it's like the lowest rated, like viewed of everything they've done. Of course.
Of course it is. Of course.
Star Wars fans are the worst.
Yeah. I think just like super niche fans can kind of be the worst. Like super niche fans.
Well, no one hates Star Wars as much as Star Wars fans. They're just the
Yep.
absolute worst.
Yep.
Yeah, love that. Really enjoying it. Diego Luna, get it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I think that's about it. You want to do this?
Let's jump into it.
All right, then let's get into our feature presentation.
And now, our feature presentation.
The Purge from 2013 at 40% from the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, a 36% from the audience, directed by James DeMonico, starring Ethan Hawke as James Sandin, Lena Headey as Mary Sandin, Adelaide Kane as Zoe Sandin, and Max Burkholder as Charlie Sandin.
One thing I noticed going through the IMDb of this movie, there's a ton of like of Australians in the movie. The daughter, I don't know. I didn't see that because the director's American. Clear, we know Ethan Hawke is American, but Lena Headey, British.
Yeah.
The daughter, Australian. The creepy like head of the rich gang, Australian.
I told our good friend Swedish Horror Nerd that he looked like him. I said he was a less handsome version of him. That guy, that Swedish Horror Nerd was a more handsome version.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. And that guy, Haley and I watched that show, the first lady or something, and he played a young version of what's his name, Dick Cheney, and I was like, great. He plays a lot of very rich, douchey, punchable guys in his career. So good on you, man.
Yeah, he was very punchable in this movie. I'm surprised by the critic score. Not surprised by that. Surprised by the audience being at 36.
Like, yeah, I'm surprised
how did they make so many of these if the audience didn't like it.
I was very confused by that too, because I would pull up like IMDb, I would like Google stuff, and there's a lot of fans that are like, oh, I love this movie's so great, blah 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 blah. But yeah, it's like thoroughly shit on according to Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I mean the audience is actually lower than the critic score.
Which that never happens. Never
Especially
happens.
when it spawns like 8 sequels, and that's nuts. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Seriously.
All right, let's get into it. We open up with a text explanation, which I'm a sucker for text explanations at the beginning of the movie. Just love
Me
them.
too.
I don't know why. It's so simple and easy, but just love it. Unemployment at 1%, crimes at an all-time low. Basically everyone's living in a utopia because the new founding fathers, which I like that they're vague about stuff.
They're incredibly vague about the political stuff, but it's like it's 2022. Funny enough.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's 2022, and yeah, they're incredibly vague about the founding fathers, but it's like overly religious as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of like God be with you, etc., etc. I like that vagueness because there's what they're getting at. Like, and it implies there's lore behind it, but you know exactly what's going on. Like, not that this is Star Wars, but Star Wars like drops you in and you know what's going on. Like, they're talking about different factions and groups and people, but that you have no idea what they are, but you understand what's going on.
Right, totally.
And this does that pretty well, I thought.
I thought so too. It's like it just throws you right into the universe, but the way that it's written, you're kind of like, oh, okay, I get this, I get that. Yeah. The Purge, the blue flowers.
Yeah, it's like Looper when they're like, don't think too much about time travel. That's just
exactly.
It just is like, let's just move on. Like, and this just is like, don't dissect it too much. This is just the world we're in, so don't worry about it.
And I love how matter of fact everybody is about it, even like on the news. And it's like, so what are your purge plans for tonight?
Yeah.
It's
like, my boss is really asking for it, so I'm going to hunt him down. Like, great, next
like,
caller.
holy shit.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I would have liked just right off the top of my head is I would have liked somebody who is like against it, because everybody seemed like really for the purge, especially like in the media, and there wasn't any like biased opinion.
There was a little of that, but it was more subtle, like in the background while they're doing other things where they're like, this preys on the poor. And,
right.
The rich people can afford like security systems, but the poor can't, so they're exposed.
Yeah. It's very political. Very political. This movie's incredibly political in its
outlook.
It
doesn't really beat you over the head with it, though.
No, not at all.
Those segments are like in the background, or like they're not focused on, but they're there. I kind of appreciated that, because a lot of times I can agree with something, but they get preachy and it's just annoying.
Yeah.
I didn't think they did that here. I thought they did a good job.
So, like, with the Purge in general, like, if this movie really focuses on murder, like everyone's going out and they're hunting and they're murdering,
which I appreciated, because they could have gone a different route, and I was really worried they were going to.
Yeah,
really
I mean, my big thing is like
route, if you know, like,
I wasn't even necessarily. I mean, yeah, I guess I thought about that, but I also thought, like, are people like allowed to loot? Are they allowed to like rob a bank? Like, can I just go rob a bank or steal a car or rob a convenience? Oh, okay. Because I would have liked to have seen maybe a little bit of that, you know, like people like robbing a bank, you know, but I guess the bank's closed and they probably sealed it up to, you know, whatever. But
they did have some rules. Like, they said, like, government employees that are like level 10 or above are off limits. So that's probably like senators and
president. The chain of command.
Yeah, which I also like. They don't explain it, but it's like, oh yeah, they're, because of course you can't just like storm the White House. Like,
yeah,
they're gonna be okay with that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they set it up very interestingly, and
everyone is just you're either in or you're not. Like, and I'm in for any premise as long as they adhere to the rules of the ridiculous world that they've set up. And I think they did for the most part here.
Yeah, and I fucking love Ethan Hawke.
And Lena Headey.
And Lena Headey is great, and this is interesting because Ethan Hawke has become quite big in the horror community since this movie. You know, he did, what was that movie? Sinister. He did this one. He did that movie, The Black Phone or something that just came out recently. The one with the creepy looking mask.
There's a lot of masks in this one.
Yeah, that's very true. Very creepy looking masks.
So after this text, we get opening credits with a bunch of violent crimes on security cameras. It's kind of upsetting.
Incredibly upsetting. Just people just point blank just shooting each other, and it's a lot of guns, not a lot of like knives and stuff, even though we get a lot of knives like later in the movie. Knives, machetes. Brutal shit.
So after this, we're introduced to James. He's just driving home to his gated community on his Bluetooth. He sells like security systems for the Purge. I thought that was interesting too, because they make a mention of like 10 years ago we couldn't even make rent, and now like we're loaded, and they're essentially profiting off of this event, you know.
They're profiting off the Purge. You know, all these rich people need security systems so they can stay safe and stay out of harm's way. Oh, who's going to help them? Mr. Ethan Hawke down the road.
And now he's flush.
Which, do you feel like the Purge has been around for 10 years at this point in the movie?
I mean, it's kind of unclear, but it seems to coincide at least a little bit with his little blow up.
Yeah.
I would think at least 5 years it's been going on. Like, it seems like normal to everybody.
Yeah, and it seems like it like goes off without a hitch.
Yeah.
To say, you know, from like
it's just like it's 4th of July coming up. It's like, what are you doing for the Purge? What are you doing for Labor Day? You know, like people are just talking about it like it just is.
Yeah, which is incredibly upsetting.
Yes, I know. So, yeah, he's made his nut from that. Then we meet Zoe and her boyfriend. They growl at each other for a bit, and then watch a neighbor sharpen a machete.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and he's doing it
Casually.
on one of those like belt sander things.
Yeah,
Like,
just getting it
yeah,
real sharp.
yeah. Someone's getting ready for tonight.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's just the way everyone's so open and brazen about it. It's just
Mm-hmm.
I like that element.
Yeah, and I think about it too. Like, could you imagine seeing your neighbor sharpening a knife? Like, oh, Bill's getting ready for tonight, and then could you look at him the same way tomorrow? You're like, you probably murdered somebody in cold blood last night.
Yeah, I thought a lot about that, and like obviously that wouldn't solve all the problems that it solves in this universe, but if like you knew that could happen, like you'd probably think twice about being a complete dick to somebody, because it's like they could actually like come back and kill me with no repercussions. Like I'm just gonna be
Yeah,
nice to everybody.
yeah, exactly. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, no forced overtime. Like,
Hmm.
real pleasant to
Yeah.
everyone. Lots of smiles.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, um, another neighbor comes up to Lena Headey's character Mary, and she's like real rude to her. Um,
This cookie lady.
yeah, I thought the cookies were gonna come back, like she laced them or something, but that wasn't a thing.
Hmm.
But she's
Hmm.
like real rude to her, like, "Oh, you got this new addition on your house." It's like it's basically the whole neighborhood paid for it because they've all bought security systems from James.
Hmm. Hmm.
She's real shitty about it.
Yeah, it's like, hello, we're helping you guys. And
Yeah,
granted, you guys made us even richer, but
yeah, just some jealousy going on.
Hmm.
Um, and we meet Charlie. He's a real weirdo.
Holy shit, this little baby camera thing that he
Yeah, he's
has is
basically a real
creepy
life
as fuck.
Sid from Toy Story.
Yeah.
Just this creepy little remote controlled baby burn victim car like going around.
Yeah. Like
GoPro on it. It's
why
weird.
have it be a baby and it's like half burnt? Like why not
Yeah.
just and it is kind of a cool concept is that it's like basically a GoPro on a remote control car. But the one thing is, why not have a microphone on it? You
Yeah,
can't
I was
talk.
thinking about that too, because he can hear other people, but all he does is just like
Hmm.
flick his lights on and off.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably could have helped.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. Hmm.
so we've met the whole family. They sit down to family dinner. Their kids kind of suck.
Yeah, they really suck.
Like,
They're like the stereotypical like rich family, shitty
yeah,
rich kids. Not one carb in our meal,
yeah, yep,
just like very stereotypical like
uh,
rich fucks.
yep. And they're like, James is like, tell us, I'll go around the table, tell us about your day. And the daughter's just like, fuck off. Like, no.
Yeah.
And then she makes a castration joke and bonds with her brother.
Yeah, they like give each other like a fist bump over the table.
I
It's
did like
like,
the
no,
parents
no, no,
like,
no.
don't pound that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And they all prepare for the purge, start locking down their home.
Hmm.
I do love like the like on TV, like the emergency broadcast type thing that goes off. That always freaks me out.
Yep, same.
Like I
Same.
remember, I'm old enough to remember when like TV would stop being on if you stayed up late enough, and like you'd
Yeah.
get kind
Oh
of
yeah.
that emergency broadcast type thing or whatever,
Hmm.
and it always just was unsettling to me. So it was very unsettling
Yeah.
in this.
And it's just like whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
Like, ooh. Yeah, very intense. And just the thing that says like the thing it says as it's like scrolling down and like
yeah,
this night saved our country,
yep,
Ooh.
yeah. It's all this like propaganda and like cult like rhetoric, and it's like a nice, calm lady's voice, just matter of factly saying things. Just creepy.
Very creepy.
So Purge begins. Kids, they still suck. Zoe goes to her room. Charlie seems disappointed that his parents don't do murders.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you guys do this? They're just like, we don't feel the need to, I guess.
Yeah, we
Do
don't
you want
feel the
us
need to
Like, what's the
purge.
matter with you, kid? You little creep.
Yeah. It's like, is this where he says, would you guys participate in this if you wanted to or had to or whatever? And they're like, and Ethan Hawke kind of, it's just like, it's a very like tense conversation. He's like, well, I would if I had to or whatever. And Lena Headey shoots him like are you fucking serious? Look.
Yeah, because they both support it, but like, they kind of play it off as like, we don't, like, it's to get like anger and violence out of your system, but they're like, we don't have that, like, we don't feel the need to get that out, like, not
Yeah.
to that point.
So they do other things.
Yeah. so Zoe's boyfriend, he like snuck into their house before the lockdown. They do some kisses, and instead of sex, he wants to talk to her dad, who apparently forbids them from seeing each other because he's too old. And I just wrote, I don't like this dude.
Yeah, this horny diaper baby who is also a creep.
Yeah, just way too old for her. Just creepy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I want to talk to your dad man to man, which seems like he's being like kind of a stand-up guy. Like, I didn't like him then, and I was right on. I did not expect him to do what he did do.
Yeah, well, I had a feeling that shit was gonna go down when he was just like, he can't keep me from you. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't expect him to do what he did though. So
yeah.
Meanwhile, Charlie sees some dude calling for help outside, and which it was weird that he seemed like bothered that his parents didn't participate, but then he's all of a sudden like a bleeding heart. Like, that was odd.
Yeah, and also horror movie etiquette 101. If I imagine that he's kind of a creepy kid, so he probably watches a lot of horror movies and stuff.
Yeah.
You'd think, don't let the guy in from outside. You don't do that. Come on, man.
There's a lot going on here, and we'll get
There's
into it.
a lot.
Yeah, he opens the door, lets the guy in, and then James and his mom like see this dude, they're like, "What the fuck did you just do, man?" Like, if I was that guy, I'd be like, thank you," but he looks all like sinister, and he like doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird move.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. It's like, I was like, is this guy gonna be, like a double agent kind of thing?
But that's
like,
what it made it seem like. Like, when you get let in like that, you should be like, I don't mean you any harm. Like, thank you. People are chasing me. Thank you. I'm not gonna hurt anybody. I don't have any weapons. Like, that's what you do.
Yeah.
When someone lets you in when you're being chased
also,
by psychopaths.
don't fucking kill me. Yeah.
Just say something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, while they're having this little muted standoff, that's when Zoe's boyfriend just comes down the stairs and pulls a gun.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. I just wrote like, this boyfriend needs to fuck off.
Yeah. And James just shoots his dumbass. Like,
yeah.
He goes all like Josie Wales, like under his arm, like bang bang
bang bang bang bang.
Drops him on the stairs.
He got hit, and then very impressive, Ethan. And then Zoe runs away.
Yeah. So after he like kills her boyfriend, they are so calm. Like, the parents afterwards, like,
yeah,
there's this guy loose in their house, and they're just very calm and like they don't seem that bothered by what's going on.
Well, also, I feel like people in this universe are way more desensitized because like, oh, what are your plans for tonight? Oh, we're just gonna lock down and watch Purge feed or whatever, and it's just like, you're just gonna watch other people murder and pillage and do all kinds of shit. Like,
yeah, gross.
Yeah.
So the dude they let in just like gets loose and goes and hides. Zoe runs off. Like, their kids are always running off. Like, stop your kids from running off. What are they?
Stay together. Stay together, ding dongs.
They go to like their little safe room, but James goes to find Zoe. I did like how Mary's like, because they still don't even know if her boyfriend's still alive and like out there with a gun. She's like,
right,
he shot at you, not me. Let me go. I was like, oh, that's actually really smart.
Yeah.
but he's like, no, I'm the man. I can't let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
He goes out to find her. Finds her boyfriend. He's big dead. Dummy.
Big time dead. Mm-hmm.
Mary then also goes out looking, finds Zoe, and she's just being a real dumb idiot and runs off.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's when a bunch of people start approaching the house. Charlie's like, you guys want to check this out real quick?
They're all wearing creepy ass masks and holding weapons.
Yep. All being really weird and creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they want them to turn over that dude, or they're gonna break in and kill them all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The one thing I do appreciate though is that they don't make it a race thing in this. They don't, because it's clearly all white people coming after him, and they don't reference his race. It's all just like, give us this homeless swine, give us this whatever. And I was just waiting for his race to be referenced, and then I would have been like, but like we clearly know that these people are evil as fuck, and but
I mean,
I really
did it that way
appreciated
on purpose, I'm sure. But that's the not beating you over the head with it.
Yes,
they
exactly.
didn't need to say some slurs or horrible things. Like you get it. You get what they're saying without saying it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That was intentional, I'm sure.
Please, just let us purge.
Yeah.
Oh man, so creepy. Really great.
He's just like a waspy douchebag. It's like, we're educated young people that like blah blah blah. He's like giving this whole manifesto. So they give him that ultimatum: cut the power. It's all dark and scary inside. Like when James is talking to Mary and she's like, they can't get in, right? He's like,
about that.
Yeah. She's like, you sell these to people, like, and they're not 100%. He's like, well, they're not made for like this. Like nothing is 100%. Like, I enjoyed that little bit. Like, he's kind of a bit of a snake oil salesman. Like,
yeah. Shit can go wrong. They're like 90. What did he say?
He's
like
99%. And then he goes through all these scenarios. Like they could tunnel underneath, they could smoke us out, they could blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh my God.
So clearly not 99%, maybe a little less.
Yeah, I mean, and it's true. If nothing is like impenetrable, if you have the resources and time and desire, you can get in anywhere.
But then they say they have shit coming, and why don't they just go find another person to purge?
I don't know. They seem to have their hearts set on this guy. Like they do mention that when they tried to get him, he killed one of theirs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I guess that kind of makes sense while they're stuck on
this
dude. They probably had a plan from before it started too. It's like, this is the guy we're gonna get. Because they just say he's like a homeless guy. He didn't really look homeless. He just looked like a regular dude.
He just looked like a regular dude covered in blood, running away.
And a veteran too, because he kept seeing his dog tags.
Yeah.
So James, he's just like, let's just give this guy up and be done with this, because like I got a family to protect, which is horrible, but I get it. Like, like you want to protect your family. So he goes looking for him in the house. Charlie, meanwhile, uses his little dead baby mobile car to try and find the guy too. And helps him hide, like in his little secret hiding spot.
Yeah. And his little, like, bat cave, hobbit hole kind of situation.
Yeah. Like where Harry Potter lived.
Exactly.
So then the main bad guy talks with James a bit. He's like, I'm trying to find him. Like, I just can't find him. Like,
just give us more time. Yeah.
And then the bad guy does the thing where he kills one of his own guys, so you know he's really bad.
Yeah, because he's very calm, very matter of fact, very well spoken, and this other guy's like, give us the fucking just like shoots him right in the head in front of him. He's like,
I believe his name was like Polite Stranger or something in the cast.
Yeah. And he makes a great point. He goes, that was my friend.
Yeah, we're not friends. What do you think I'm gonna do to you?
Yeah, like yikes.
Yeah. So yeah, shit's getting real. Um, Zoe then like finds the little car and is like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to your secret hiding spot." And that's basically where he sent this dude. So she immediately gets grabbed by him, and he holds her at gunpoint. It's like a big standoff. Um, Zoe gets knocked out because Mary comes up behind him, and then there's like a whole fracas. They knock the guy out too, and he gets shot in the process. Tie him up, like duct tape him up, and prepare to take him outside. He like they're trying to like tape him to the chair, and he's struggling, of course. And Mary takes a letter opener and just shanks him in his bullet wound. Oh, it's so
well,
brutal.
Ethan, like he's telling her to do
Yeah.
it. He's like, grab the letter opener and put it in his wound, and she's like, what? Put
Yeah.
it in his wound? Like, ah!
And she does, and that like kind of breaks her.
Yeah.
They get him up in the chair and taped up, and she's just like, "This is fucked. We can't do this.
This
This
is so
isn't okay.
wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Look at
not
this.
okay."
Look at this man. What are we doing
Yeah,
to
it's
him?
like, look at yourself. You're covered in blood. Like this isn't right. Like,
yeah.
Zoe also lays a guilt trip on James. Um, so and during all this, the man gets like free of his little muzzle, and he's like, "Just give me to him. Save your children." And then he's just like, "I can't do that now."
Fuck.
Yeah.
We've gone too far.
Yep. Meanwhile, outside, they're about to like pull the doors down. They got some big old like truck, like Marty McFly's truck at the end of Back to the Future.
Yeah, like just a big old beefy truck with chains, and they're just gonna fucking do it the old-fashioned way. They're just gonna rip the fucking windows and shit off.
Exactly. And they hook it up to the barricade. James decides he's not going to send him outside. He's like, no, we're going to fight him instead because they have some guns.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He gives Charlie a gun and like his 12-year-old son a gun and tells him to go hide in the basement. They prepare to fight. My biggest problem here was untie the guy, let him help.
Like, yeah, clearly we're saving you, dude. So
yeah,
why don't you give us a fucking hand here?
What do you got to lose? Like, he's not going to turn on you at this point. Like,
yeah,
I know he's shot, but he could be of help. Like, why you just leave him there?
Yeah,
have another man. Like, I don't know. Even if you don't give him a gun, just have so he's just running around confusing people. Like, give him another target at least.
And I mean, that's one of the things like that kept this movie from like, because this movie wasn't bad. I didn't think it was that bad of a movie. There were some choices in it.
Make sense.
Yeah, there were like a few choices in this movie that they did where I was just like, okay, maybe this is the reason why it got such a bad rap.
Yeah, and I mean, I know they did that just so he could escape and like save the day at a later point. Like,
sure.
That's the only reason they did it, and I knew that once they didn't untie him, I'm like, oh, that's what they're gonna do, and of course they did. It's that's so telegraphed. It's pointless. Like,
right.
Any audience member with half a brain knows that's what you're going for, so don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, again, you saw the dog tags. He probably knows how to handle himself with a weapon.
Well, we find that out later. Yeah. Like, yeah, exactly.
Let him help you fight. Whatever. They pull the main door down, main barricade, and lots of shooting. Whatever. Charlie somehow gets like attacked immediately in the basement.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Yeah, like they just went straight for him. I don't know how they knew he was there. It was weird. He's about to get got, and James shows up and just blasts that dickhead.
Ooh, blasts him like
absolutely blows him away.
Swiss cheese style.
Great. James dispatches another guy with his little boomstick. He's got an awesome shotgun. It's got like this weird handle on it. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
It was
sure.
Comes across another dude and a lady in his like billiards room.
Yeah, that are just like this couple who like, hey, seems like a nice time for a piggyback ride.
Yeah, they're just having a blast, like being really weird and like juvenile about it all. She's got an axe, he's got a gun, but he disarms that guy, but he also gets disarmed, brains him with a billiards ball. And then, man, the way he just shotguns that lady.
Whoa.
It's so brutal.
Yeah. Brutal.
And then the other guy's still alive. They punch for a bit. Gets the upper hand. Till another goon shows up. Then they punch for a bit. James hits him with an axe and ends that real quick. And then I love how he double taps everybody with the shotty.
Yeah. And I said, Ethan, listen to the rules. He knows about the double tap.
Yeah, I appreciated that. That was smart.
Yeah.
And ruthless, but smart.
Like ruthless. But then you know how fucking smart he is.
Yeah. But unfortunately, his luck runs out and he's shanked by the main guy. It's a little kiss on the forehead and he's left for dead.
Yeah, I'm like, what's up with the forehead kiss?
Yeah, that's a weird little smooch.
Yeah, I wonder if that was like an improvised like choice.
Yeah, I can't imagine that was in the script. So Charlie, he's like watching the monitors because they have all these monitors set up, cameras everywhere. And some people just like show up outside. It's like random people. And just mow down everyone that's outside. So it's like, oh, people like their neighbors are coming to help. Awesome. Mary gets attacked by a couple dickheads, and before they kill her, people from outside show up, save her. They're like, oh, thank you so much, like saved us. And they're just like, no, that's not what's happening here. We wanted you for ourselves. And it's like the lady from the beginning, the dickhead lady with the cookies.
You're ours, not theirs.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yep. And then the main guy's like about to kill their whole family, but so we didn't hear no bell. He just comes in blasting away.
Daughter to the rescue. Bye, bitch.
Yep, shoots his dumbass dead. Then James dies. Just sad.
Oh, Ethan.
That's when we find out that the outside people, their neighbors, they're not there to help him. Like tie him all up, about to execute him, and then luckily the homeless guy, he'd gotten free, and he shows up and saves him.
He blasts one of them.
Yeah.
And then he just has like the drop on all of them.
Yeah, he's like, drop your guns. Like. And he's like, they could kill them all, but Mary's just like, no one else dies. Like, enough. Like, we're just gonna sit here and run out the clock in an awkward situation.
Yeah, that's awkward. They all were literally just going to just kill the shit out of you, and she's like, nope, we're playing the rest of this night out in peace.
Yeah.
And I just wrote awkward.
She's a bigger man than I am. I'd have been like, let him have it, dude.
Bye.
Spray these assholes. So they're all running out the clock. I like that the one lady tries some shit and Mary just beats the hell out of her, just slams her head, gives her the Danza dunk on the coffee table.
and she fucking hits her with the butt of a shotgun in the face too, doesn't she?
So good. Yeah. Man, she just works her over. She just like, stop it. No. Like, bad dog.
No. Yeah, it's like if you
have
a spray bottle with a little cat. It's just like, nope.
In a rolled up newspaper. And then after that, shortly after, the alarms go off. Purge is over. She thanks the homeless guy, just like knowingly nods and walks off and leaves. And credits.
My first question: do they have cleanup crews? Do they have like government sanctioned cleanup crews? Because you know there's going to be dead bodies everywhere and fucking shit everywhere.
I was thinking about that because they make a point to say like all emergency services won't be active until 7 a.m. Like no police, no EMTs, no nothing, no fire. Like right when the alarm goes off, you start hearing like sirens and like helicopters. So they were all just like ready.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, we got a mess to clean up. Like this is the worst day of the year.
I think in
this all day.
In the Purge universe, I have like a cleaning service and like I make fucking millions like owning a Purge cleanup crew.
Yeah, you're like the guys in John Wick.
Yeah. And I only take payment in gold coins.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just rolling up dead people in a carpet. And
Good seeing you, John. Yeah. Boom, boom, bow, bow, boom, boom, bow.
Yeah, that is funny because they do kind of explore that whole. There's a whole economy that came out of this, like with the security systems, and then there'd probably be private cleanup crews and like these jobs that were created from this ridiculous event. Like, it probably made people really wealthy off of the suffering of others, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so really overall, I didn't mind this movie. I didn't think it was nearly as bad as like the critics and the audience made it out.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. Like, and also 85 minutes. Like, even if this was the biggest piece of shit of all time, it was 85 minutes, so it's over in a heartbeat. So
yeah, love it. Well done. 85 minutes.
It couldn't have been longer too. Like, that's as long as this could have been or should have been.
100% agree. Like that would have just 125 minutes.
Like,
yeah,
most everything made sense. There's a couple little things we touched on, but for the most part, they at least had a line explaining like why this happened or that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds cliche to say, it fell apart a little bit in the third act, but there were some moments where it's just like, oh, okay, you went that way when you could have changed this. But overall, like, I feel like it's spawned so many sequels because it's like a really interesting concept, and they did a really great. It's a fascinating concept, and they did a really great job of building this universe and building this world. Yeah, the world building. So then they could kind of go off in all these different directions. Like the second movie is basically people getting caught, like their car breaks down on the freeway.
Yeah,
like right before the purge goes off. Yeah.
And the world building, I want to stress that because they did it quickly and as simple as possible, but it was just so effective.
Oh, 100%.
Like I was actually thinking about world building last night. I was trying to sleep and thinking about something I'm writing, and I'm like, how do I build this world out? Like, I've never done that before. I don't know how to do that exactly. And like the way they did it was just, I need to go like look at that as a template because they did such a good job with it.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, I thought this movie was all right.
Same.
Yeah. I've got a little bit of trivia if you want to hear it.
Oh, hit us with some trivia.
There wasn't a ton, but I picked out a few nuggets here. According to the director James DeMonaco, the famous road rage incident awakening the idea for The Purge happened like this. He and his wife were driving on the freeway when a drunk driver cut them off, nearly killing them. After both cars stopped, the other driver's lack of remorse enraged DeMonaco enough to engage in a fistfight, and police eventually had to get involved. After the incident was over, DeMonaco's wife turned to him and commented how great it would be to have one free murder a year. He felt bad admitting this because she's normally a, quote, sweet woman.
That's a ride or die.
Yeah, ride or die. Ride or die. Yeah.
I like her.
Mrs. DeMonaco, well said. Well done. On the prospect of a real purge, director James DeMonaco once said, honestly, I'd probably just go to Canada and hide.
I was thinking about that. Like, if you're uber rich or like famous, it's like, that's the time I'm going to like go to the south of France or like hit Cancun. Like,
oh, the purge is coming up.
Vacation. Like, I'm not sticking around for that.
I'm gonna go on a boat or a plane or fly to Japan, so I'll just be on a plane the whole time. I don't know.
Just immediately come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a round trip to Australia and just come back right away.
Exactly. Ethan Hawke is an old friend of producer Jason Blum and director James DeMonaco, and was happy to appear in The Purge to give their low-budget movie some star power. As usual in Blum's productions, cast and crew work for scale and receive a percentage of the profits, if any. Hawke reportedly received only $3,000 up front, but due to the movie's worldwide success and the back-end profits, he has probably received more money for this film than for any in his career.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that this was a Blumhouse joint.
Yeah,
Had to be one of the early ones for them, right? At least that hit
I
it
feel like
big.
it was. I feel like it was, and like what an awesome thing that he gives the crew. Like, yeah, we're gonna pay you not a lot of money to actually work on this movie, but you're gonna get some points. So that means
Yeah.
everybody on the crew made money off of this, and
Yeah.
that's fucking awesome.
It's so smart because then everyone's even that much more invested in making it as
Right.
good as possible. Not that they
Yeah.
wouldn't, because they're professionals. Not that they would like phone it in, but like
Hmm.
you get that incentive and you get a little skin in the game,
Yeah, exactly.
to
It's
actually
it's
get like
like,
life-changing money if it blows up for
hmm,
$100 million.
yeah. I mean, you heard about Schwarzenegger and the movie that he made the most money in his career off of. Did I ever tell you that story?
Which one was it?
It was Twins.
Oh yeah. Oh,
The
I mean, like there's a story of Avatar. James Cameron wanted um uh Matt Damon, and
hmm
he was gonna give him like 5% or something like that. Like basically
hmm
he would have gotten or like 10% or like, some huge amount where he would have gotten like hundreds of millions of dollars if he would have done that role.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof, oof,
I
oof,
love the
oof,
story
oof.
he tells. I can't remember who he was telling, but he was like, "Yeah, I guess." He's like, I already have a lot of money, but it's like the only thing that would be different is we'd be having this conversation on the moon right now.
Was it the Rich Eisen show? Was
It
it
might have
that one?
been. It might have been. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
where it was said, but
Oh
fascinating.
God. Like I couldn't, yeah, but then yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
something like 10 or 20%. Like it was some huge astronomical number for him to play it. I don't know exactly why he didn't, because
Wow.
the guy who did definitely did not get that deal.
Sam Worthington,
Yeah, yeah.
highly hard no. Hard no. Reese Wakefield was cast as the polite leader of the home invaders one day before shooting started. Several casting sessions had been held, but all the other actors who had auditioned had overdone the part. According to James DeMonico, Wakefield played it cool with an unsettling smile as if he had fun with it, which was perfect for the role because it reminded DeMonico of the cult dynamics of Charles Manson.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yep.
You said that sinister, creepy look
Yeah,
on his face.
definitely. And last but certainly not least, I couldn't find a body count. I would imagine, actually, for the movie, it probably wasn't that much. It was
No, probably not
probably
that
like
high,
pretty
unless
low.
as long as you don't count like the security camera footage at the beginning.
Yeah. But I found this one kind of interesting. Writer director James DeMonico has a deep fear of firearms and channeled that fear into the movie, stating that traditional villains are much less scary now that random people carrying guns can cause a massacre anywhere. Quote, I'm terrified for my country, so I think that cynicism seeps into the film. America itself becomes the canvas. Instead of the haunted house, the canvas is America. We don't need ghosts or vampires anymore when we're just killing each other, you know?
Yeah, and I mean it
Yeah.
is scarier that it's just like your neighbor, like it's people like you and me,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, like, could you imagine your neighbor trying to kill you, not succeeding, and then just having to live next to that person all the rest of the
yeah.
year?
I
It's
know.
like, hey,
I mean,
hey,
if that happened, I'm not a violent person, but I would be planning for the next purge.
yeah. Or I'd just be like fucking moving.
I would have a whole. I'm vindictive, so and stubborn, and I don't forget.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But that's it. What are we doing next week?
Oh, coming up next week, sticking with the October Halloween theme, we will be getting into the Keanu Reeves Constantine.
Constantine, and just announced they're going to do a sequel after, gosh, about 20 years. The last one came out, and
Yeah,
I I like this movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember really liking it, even though it doesn't really coincide with the comics. But
yeah, it's not really comic accurate, but I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things. Like it's
yeah,
just its own
and
thing, which is fine.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's its own thing.
and
It's
it's
got great
Keanu, so
actors. It's Keanu. Rachel Weisz is the female lead in it.
the
The thing
devil
I love,
is
Peter Stormare, which is
yes.
great. Which is great. I
I
love it.
read or I heard something where like they wanted him to look like the devil, like with horns and everything. He's like, nah, white suit.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And that's a G right there, man. That's a guy who he's an incredible actor, and it's like, no, I'm not going to do the traditional thing. I'm going to make this look even creepier.
Isn't Tilda Swinton in it too? Is she like an angel or something?
I think she is actually.
I love her.
Yeah, she's the best. But that's going to be a fun one for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been wanting to watch. I've turned it on multiple times and gotten through like 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm like, I'm just not in the right mood for this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So I've turned it off. I'm like, I don't want to ruin it. Like, I want to enjoy it properly and give it a chance.
Yeah. This one's going to be a fun one for sure.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Much
Hell yeah. Hell yes.
Oh man, what a good time.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah, this is great. And get a little spookiness in there, a little bit of action. It's nice to coincide with, because I feel like we've talked about this before, like the horror community and the action movie community, like kind of are like almost on the same level.
Yeah, there's more crossover in that Venn diagram than I would have ever thought before we got into this.
Yep. I feel like that's why we've gotten so tight with a lot of people in the horror podcast community.
Yeah, a lot of the same sensibilities for sure.
And
speaking of that, tomorrow, because this will go up tonight, tomorrow we will be, both of us and our good friend Aaron, I believe, will be streaming, doing a little live stream for Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh man, I think I saw this movie when it first came out, and I was just kind of like, "Oh boy."
I've never seen it, and like, yeah, that's kind of the thought I had. It's like, oh, okay, like you're trying to be like edgy and silly and weird, like for the sake of being weird. And it might be that, but whatever. It's a stream, so who cares?
I think it's the same guy who directed Wanted. I want to say.
Oh, really? I like
Wanted. Yeah, me too. We watched it on our show. We loved it. Yeah.
That'll be on our channel, I believe.
On our YouTube channel, yeah.
We're usually on his, but I think we're gonna toggle back and forth because we're trying to build that out. His is already monetized, so it's time for us to get there.
Time to get that paper.
Exactly. Oh man. Why don't you hit us where you can find us?
You could find us at www.actionmoviebookclub.com. You can also find us on Instagram at actionmoviebc or on Instagram at actionmoviebookclub. We're also on YouTube and we're also on the TikTok. Look out, check out our TikToks.
Yeah, I got some good ones coming up. Some little clip, very short, like 5-10 second of some scene reads, some like basically one line, 2 lines here, but
I love it.
Whack those up the other
but yeah, check those out, and yeah, check out our stream. So it'll be Tuesday the 18th. Check out our stream then. And yeah, we got a lot of other spooky stuff coming up this month. We've got Constantine next, and then after that, we're gonna bring Aaron on, and we're gonna do the Zack Snyder directorial debut, Dawn of the Dead, which I'm really stoked for. That's like
movie.
That's his best movie, and I feel like that's in my top 10 like horror movies. I would say like top 5, top 10 horror movies.
Wasn't it written by James Gunn too?
Fuck yeah, it was.
Awesome.
Yeah, great.
I haven't seen
Love
that
it
forever, so I'm excited for that as well.
Yeah, I feel like
excited for all these movies that you came up with all these movies for October, and we're not horror guys, but this is as excited as I've been for a string of movies in a while.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. I'm stoked. I'm super excited.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that's kind of it. Anything else?
It's about all I got. Why don't you take us out?
Happy trails, Hans.